One moment, we're getting the management of Bank of Baroda addressing to the press. So let's just cut across for a bit.
Total income. The first quarter total income is 12,244 crores, which has increased from 11,684, which is a growth of 4.8%. Sequentially, it has increased from 12,057 crores, which shows a growth of 1.55%. We come to the net profit. I know that there has been a fairish amount of net profit warning, and some banks have disappointed. I hope we do not disappoint our investing public. The profit have increased to 1,052, which has increased from 598 crores sequentially from the last quarter. For the last 2 quarters, the profitability of Bank of Baroda has been under strain. I am happy that there has been a fairish bit of improvement in this particular quarter. Over the last quarter, it has increased by over 75%. On YOY basis, it has decreased from 1,362 crores, which is a decrease of 22.74%. I come to non-interest income. In the first quarter, this has decreased up to 967 crores from 1,025 crores, and sequentially it has also decreased from a figure of 1,295 to 967 crores, which is a decline of 25%. This decrease in non-interest income has been basically on account of lower profit of sale on investment, which is the major cause of the lower decrease in non-interest income. The net interest margins, I'm happy to say, have in fact gone up. Global NIM has increased to 2.26 from 2.17 in the last quarter. So despite the fact that we are now in a falling interest rate scenario, the bank has managed to increase its NIMs. However, for first quarter, global NIM has declined 2.26 from 2.35 over the corresponding quarter of last year. Sequentially, it has increased, but YOY it has declined. I think now let us come to fresh slippages. Slippages have been attracting a great deal of attention given the adverse economic climate in which we are operating. The slippages are for the first quarter are 1,685 crores, which have decreased from 1,881 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year. Sequentially, it increased from 1,358 crores to 1,685 crores. Sequentially, they have increased. However, now the sort of silver lining. Standard restructured assets have improved by an amount of about 360 crores. So there has been absolutely no addition to the restructured assets. Therefore, if we take the total stressed assets, these have increased. If we take both the NPAs and the restructured assets, the total stress assets have only increased by rupees 658 crores. I am sure this figure should hearten the investors of Bank of Baroda. I come to gross NPAs. Gross NPA level for the first quarter was 17,274 crores, which comprised 4.13% of advances. It increased from 16,261 crores at 3.72% for the last quarter. The rise is mainly due to decline in gross advances by about 15,500 crores from March 15, and increase in the NPA level of 1,013 crores on sequential basis. So on sequential basis, the NPAs have increased by about 1,013 crores. Gross NPA level increased from 12,087 crores or Q1 15 to 17,275 crores for quarter 1 of this year. Gross NPA ratio increased from 3.11 to 4.13% for this period. Net NPA. The net NPA level for Q1 was 8,470 crores at 2.07% of advances. It increased from 6,021 crores at 1.58% for Q1 of FY15. Sequentially, it increased from 8,069 crores to 8,470 crores. So the net NPA ratio sequentially increased from 1.89 to 2.07. The provision coverage ratio remains very healthy. The provision coverage ratio has been at a healthy level of 64.94% as on 30/6/2015, as against 64.99% as on the end of the last quarter. So therefore, there has been only a very, very marginal slippage in the PCR, which shows, I think, the inherent strength of the bank. Global restructured standard advances stood at 25,541 crores, which is 6.11 of gross total advances, out of which restructured standard advances of domestic operations is 23,180 crores, which is 8.15% of domestic gross advances. Global restructuring during the first quarter was only 147 crores. I come to the capital adequacy ratios. These stood in the first quarter at 12.74% under Basel II, which is, we have a very comfortable capital adequacy ratio, and 11.98 under Basel III, which is well above the regulatory requirement. Tier 1 stands at 9.73% under Basel II, of which CET1 stands at 9.2%, and 9.41% under Basel III, of which CET stands at 8.91%. The capital adequacy ratio of the bank in the first quarter 15 was at 12.5% under Basel II and 11.91% under Basel III. Tier 1 was at 9.34% under Basel II, of which CET1 was 9.03 and 9.06 under Basel III, of which CET1 was 8.76. So compared to the last quarter, the capital adequacy, we remain at more or less the same level. The bank's capital adequacy is more than adequate. The bank has continued its retail focus for business growth, both in liabilities and asset side. As a result, the share of CASA deposits domestic has improved to 3.89% in the first quarter, as against 31.33% in the corresponding quarter last year. Retail advances stood at 51,735 crores, showing a YOY growth of 16.14%. In fact, the growth of retail advances has been, compared to the business growth of the bank, has been much more robust. MSME advances increased to 61,542 crores, showing a YOY growth of 7.15%. The CD ratio of domestic business and global business stood at 68.07% and 68.86% respectively, as against 71.01 domestic and 69.21 global in Q1 of the corresponding period of last year. There is no doubt that the accretion of advances in Bank of Baroda has come down. And the reason for this is that given the current adverse circumstances, we are being extremely choosy in what assets to pick up. Therefore, we prefer that we should show a conservative face in the addition of advances. We are mainly, therefore, concentrating on retail advances. I think...
Okay, that is Mr. Ranjan Dhawan of Bank of Baroda. The stock is reacting positively because the total stressed assets have risen a little over 600 crores on a sequential basis. But that would be a little bit of an unfair comparison because the restructured loans, because of the forbearance ending last quarter, was anyway going to be high. So that has come off this quarter, but the slippages have increased on a sequential basis. It's over 1,600 crores this quarter versus 1,881 crores year on year, but versus around 1,300 crores plus that they did in the last quarter, which in fact was the lowest slippages that they had recorded in the entire of FY15. So yes, the total stressed assets have risen, but it's risen primarily because of lower restructuring and higher slippages have, however, been recorded. Nonetheless, the stock is still holding up quite well. The global net interest margins have seen a little bit of an improvement on a sequential basis as well, 2.26 versus 2.17%. In fact, there are